It all started after we got back from a family trip around Eastern Europe. We have family in some of the countries, but my mother and father really love the history and architecture of the region. Everything went normally during the trip. We ate good food, saw cool sights, and spent time with distant relatives. I acted like I wanted to go home the whole time, but truth be told, I had fun. My younger sister turned 14 on the trip. We had a big party for her. She was really into makeup and stuff, so my parents got her a bunch of foreign brands that are pretty popular, I guess. As far as I know, it only started once we got back home. My sister started complaining about an itch. She said there was a weird tickling sensation constantly on her back. She'd always ask anyone, and I mean anyone, even complete strangers, around her to scratch it for her. But she was never satisfied. It was as though we could never quite get to the right spot, and it seemed very frustrating for her. My mother thought it might be a rash or an adverse reaction to some of the products she got for her birthday. She saw the doctor, who said there was no sign of any problem with her skin, aside from obvious irritation where she'd been trying to scratch herself with various objects. She went to see specialists, first a dermatologist, then an immunologist, even naturopaths. My sister, and the rest of us at that point, were getting desperate. About 2 months after we returned, it went from an itch to an obsession. She was always scratching all over her body. She said she could feel the tickle underneath the skin, as if thousands of tiny bugs were crawling around her insides. At least that's how she put it. The closest thing we got to an answer was from a neurologist. He said that there could be problems with her nerves backfiring like crazy. He told us that there were certain medications she could be put on, but they'd have serious and adverse side effects. My parents were understandably hesitant, but she was in agony. We all agreed as a family. We had no other option. I watched her, getting worse with every day. The medication barely helped, and it left her in a severe mental fog. She had a hard time communicating and paying attention. The only thing that she could do properly was... what else? Scratch her skin. As her brother, watching her go through this was heartbreaking. I was helpless. I was supposed to look out for her, to defend her, to take care of her. I was at my wit's end trying to think of what the hell I could do. But if even the doctors have no idea, how the hell could I know? She stopped taking the medication. She said it was giving her uncomfortable side effects. She could hear the itching. She said it was better to deal with all the irritating sensations rather than the disquieting hallucinations. We all understood, We wanted it to be as much her choice as possible with how to handle things. It was winter at this point. She'd be going for counseling and therapy. My father believed that this was some kind of psychological thing, that a psychologist would be able to help her deconstruct the root of the issue. It's a good thing, too, because if the psychologist hadn't noticed, I don't know if any of us would have. She'd been wearing heavy clothing all the time. We assumed it was due to the cold, but as it turned out, her body... Oh God. Her body was covered in lacerations. She'd been slowly trying to skin herself. She explained to my parents when the psychologist told them, "You don't understand. Whatever it is, it's inside of me. I have to let it out." My parents were mortified. I was too. But I couldn't help but wonder how she was able to hide it from us so well. I shared a bathroom with her, and I never found traces of blood that couldn't be easily explained away. In the hospital, she was manic, screaming and flailing, refusing to hold still, to let the nurse bandage her. "That's just going to keep it in!" she howled, desperately trying to rip through her clothing to tear at her flesh. It was more than my parents could handle. She was sent to an institution where they could keep an eye on her around the clock. She'd have no access to tools to which she could harm herself, and she was forced to wear clothing that inhibited her from scratching. That was a week ago. Today, we heard from the hospital. She's dead. The doctors said they weren't sure exactly how it happened, but at some point, when she and some other patients were taken for a walk, she'd managed to impale herself on a fence post, right through her throat. My mother hasn't spoken a word since we heard the news. My father is furious. He demands to know how this could have happened when it's supposed to be a secure facility. Me? I'm torn. As I sit here, writing this, I'm devastated from the loss of my dear sister, but I'm distracted. I'm terrified. I have no idea what to do now. I haven't told anyone, especially not my family. But something has happened. A few days ago, I felt an itch. An itch I just can't scratch.
Hey everybody, ItsDanniFandom here, and I just wanted to take a moment at the end of today's video to say thank you so much for watching. Also, apologies for the fan going on in the background. It's the middle of summer, and not having the fan on, given that we don't have a functioning AC unit at the moment, is basically like a death sentence for me and my cats, so I gotta keep it on. at all times. Except when I'm recording specific audios, but for now I gotta keep it on because it's bloody hot. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to continue to support me and what I do, please consider checking out my Patreon page, as well as my Ko-Fi and my Fansly. On my Patreon, I post my content a week early, as well as polls for what video I should do next, my custom drawn thumbnails in high resolution, and a bunch of exclusive content too. As for my Fansly, I post gameplay content for not safe for work games, I post selfies of myself, completely uncensored if you're curious, as well as, well, exclusive content there too. I also re-upload a bunch of my not safe for work videos that have been removed for various reasons. So if you guys want to see a specific video that isn't up on my main pages anymore, feel free to check it out there. It's most likely there. And my Ko-Fi page is essentially a hub for friendly donations if you feel so inclined, as well as the hub for my audio commissions. Granted, you don't have to solely use Ko-Fi for my audio commissions. You can just message me on places like Twitter and Discord if you want a commission, but it's there just in case. And speaking of my Patreon, I want to give a massive thank you shout out to my current $9 patrons. Zero Rocky, Doctor, A Fox, Aaron Kosterman, Achilles Games 51, Action Bastard, Adrian Valdez, Aiden S 2014, Alaka Zambalam, Alex Monker, Alexander Lee, Alexander Reyes, Andrew Illinois, Angelic Panda, Anon, Ahupa, Aramis22, Arsalan Falati, Asala 2011, Atheist Guy, Atomic Crown 51, Udi, Urisville, Austin Gill, Ben Hardison, Benny King, Big Buddha, Billy Harden, Bizarre Delic 31, Black Knight 1945, Blind Orchard, Bonnie Longo, Brantley Wiggard, Bubboy, CD, Charles Harris, Charlie, Chicken McNugget, Chief Baza, Chris Lackey, Christopher Joycel, Claymore 2190, Cletus McEaterson, Courier Bree, Chris Sanchez, Cross MJ, Cyclone Clyde, D4C, Daddy Micah, Dalton Britton, Dart C, David D. Sanchez or Disavowed Ash, David Shepard Jr., Davider, Damian Shirley Clark, Declan Binolm, Delboy, Damon Williams 12, I'm gonna go with that because their actual name is gibberish, Dimon Shark 15, Dom Addy, Draco, Dragonblood Fire X, Dub Devil, Dylan, Eagle the Legend, ELV, Araviv, Eric Rogers, Eternal Ronin, Uluji, Eagle Doer, Flacco Alex, Follower of Jelly, Gabriel Mesa, Gabriel Reader, Gotcha Zach, Gamer Kid GP, Giovanni Gums, Golden Quake, Gray, Gray Vale, Guy, Hayden, Insanity Gamer X, Isaac Coria, Isaiah Leslie, Evor 1992, Jace, Jack, Jack the Bro, Jacob 102099, Jake the Snake A, James Ridley, Jay Torres, Jess Jenner, Dodabo 3, Joel Ramirez, John Dunn, Joe Nessie, Jose Cheras, Joseph Owenspipe, Joseph Russo, Juan Contreras, Justin Luttrell, Justin Dude, K. Jake D, Kamari, Cade, KC25, Kelgrom, Kiana Caslana, Kink Harris, Lassie Kirky, Leo Prime, Lev, Lex, Liam Hughes, Lonely Wolf, Luna X Operation Overdrive 18 Plus XX, Lord Doggo, Maki Maki, Man of Many Bees, Mark Mason, Mason Charter 777, Mass, Maximus Amadeo, Mechales, Mercy 11, Michael Cardenas, Minecraft Gamer 237, Lim, Michael Whitlock, Nabit Corrigan, Nate Pixel, Nathaniel, Nenares, Neba Weeba, Nick, Nick the Wicker Beast, Nocad Notad, Notable, Old God's Wrath, Onyx, Oplin, Orbtalis TM, Oreo, Owen Picer, Papa Ninja, Persona, Peter TWB, Poyup, Prototype 13, Raven Rock 74, Ray 0708, Reaper S, Reverend W, Ruben Jimenez Frere, Rylan Dixon, Rytex 1234, Sam, Samuel the Sergal, Soroya, Say Gaming, Sean Malcolm, Cersei James, Seductive Orange, Sergio Temez, Shade, Shadow Fox, Sinblade 723, Skullkid 268, Sleepy Sloth, Solid Seth, Sonrox, Spectator Will, Spicy Boy, Steve Smith, Sticks, Storch, Swag, TR, TT, The Best Nya, The Patman, The Void Dragon, Theodore, Thomas, Thoughty Tahati, Throw2255115, Topster of Toasters, Tommy Guns, Traces, Trans Furries, Tristan Smith, Undying Warrior, Uselesser, User Patron 98, UX, Ven Pen, Wayne Sampson, Will, Zilrit, Zachary Cook, Zephyr Onyx, Ziviso1, and the Nor Novelist. Thank you all so much for being my $9 patrons. It truly means the world and more to me that you guys support me in what I do. I'll be sure to give you guys a healthy helping of content every single week. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm ItsDanniFandom, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!